Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Ready to explore some seriously mind-bending ideas about time and the universe.
Let's do it.
Today, we're diving into the world of Ibn Arabi, a 12th century Islamic scholar and mystic.
You know, his ideas are, they're still relevant even today.
Right, yeah. And to guide us on this deep dive, we're using Ibn Arabi, Time and Cosmology as our roadmap.
It's going to be a fascinating journey exploring time in the universe from his perspective.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're watching, don't forget to level up your skills with us by liking and subscribing.
We really appreciate your support.
Okay, so before we get too deep, can you give us a quick intro to Ibn Arabi? Like, who was he and why should we care about his ideas today?
Okay, so imagine a world way before telescopes or the Big Bang Theory.
Okay, got it.
Where understanding the universe relied on just observation and thought and spiritual reflection. That was Ibn Arabi's world.
I see.
He was more than just a mystic. He was a scholar, delved into philosophy, cosmology, the nature of reality. And get this, some of his ideas developed centuries ago actually kind of echo concepts we find in modern physics.
Oh, really? Like what? Give us an example.
Okay, well, one of the biggest questions in cosmology is, did the universe have a beginning or has it always been around?
Right.
And modern science with the Big Bang Theory points to a universe with a definite starting point.
Yeah.
Now, centuries before the Big Bang was even a thing, Ibn Arabi, drawing on ideas from Plato, he also proposed that time was created with the world. This suggests that the universe didn't always exist. It came into being at a specific point in time.
Wow, that's a pretty incredible connection to make across, centuries.
It is. Makes you wonder if maybe some truths about the universe are kind of timeless.
Right, totally.
Now, Aristotle, another big name in, history of ideas, he believed in an endless circular time with no beginning or end.
Yeah.
That view was super influential, but Ibn Arabi, like Plato, challenged that.
So we have these different perspectives on time, circular, endless time versus time having a beginning.
Right. And it's fascinating because Einstein's theory of general relativity allows for a beginning of time.
Whoa, so Einstein's theory aligns more with Plato and Ibn Arabi.
Mind blown. Okay, so what does all this mean for us? Why should someone who's not a, physicist or a philosopher care about these different views of time?
That's a great question. It shows us that even the simplest things, time, we take it for granted, can be understood in radically different ways.
Yeah, for sure.
It encourages us to question our assumptions and explore different perspectives.
Definitely. And speaking of challenging assumptions, let's talk about Ibn Arabi's idea of discrete time. What is that about?
Well, most of us think of time as this smooth, continuous flow.
Right, like a river just constantly moving forward.
Exactly. Well, Ibn Arabi kind of throws a wrench in that idea. It says the smallest unit of time is actually a single day.
Hold on, so he's saying that time isn't continuous, but it's like a series of chunks?
Yeah, like a series of distinct moments, and on a deeper cosmic level, only one event happens each day. So each day has a unique cosmic significance. It's not just another day on the calendar.
Precisely. This ties into a concept called Ayam al Shan, which means days of event.
Interesting.
Each day has a specific divine task or action associated with it.
Wow, okay. I'm starting to see how this idea of discrete time can really shift your perspective on time. It's not just minutes ticking by, but something way more grand.
Yeah, exactly. And it challenges us to think about how events are interconnected.
Right. It makes you think about time in a whole new way. What do you think, listeners? Does this challenge your perception of time? Share your thoughts in the comments. Okay, but wait, there's more. We've talked about time as discrete units, but Ibn Arabi takes it even further with something he calls the single monad model. What in the world is that?
So picture this, there's a single indivisible essence.
Okay.
Ibn Arabi calls it the real, and it's the source of everything.
Wait, so he's saying that everything we see and experience comes from just one singular essence.
That's the main idea. The real, this ultimate source, it constantly manifests itself in different forms, creating all the diversity and multiplicity of the worlds.
Okay, I'm going to need some help wrapping my head around this. It's a big concept.
Think of it like a computer monitor.
Okay.
The electron beam that creates the images is like the single monad. The screen is like our imagination. Ibn Arabi calls it the dust, like the substrate of creation. And the images on the screen that change constantly. Those are the ever-shifting forms of the cosmos.
Okay, that's a powerful image. So reality is being projected from this single source, kind of like a cosmic movie.
That's a great way to put it. It captures Ibn Arabi's vision of oneness.
It's like we're watching a movie, but the screen is reality itself constantly being rewritten with each new moment.
It's a pretty amazing concept, right?
Absolutely. And it leads to another intriguing idea that we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive, the idea that the 7 days of creation are repeated within each normal day.
Oh, that's going to be a mind bender.
I can't wait. Listeners, you'll have to join us for part 2 to unpack that mind-boggling concept.
See you soon. Welcome back to the deep dive. Ready for more? We left off talking about Ibn Arabi's idea of time as discrete units, with each day having its own unique cosmic significance.
Right, like each day is its own special chapter in this grand cosmic story.
Exactly, and it gets even more mind-bending. Ibn Arabi says that the 7 days of creation, from religious traditions, are repeated within each normal day.
Hold on, so every day has a mini cycle of creation within it, like a day within a day.
That's the idea. It's like a fractal pattern, the 7 days of creation nested within each 24-hour period.
Okay, my brain is trying to process that. Can you break that down a bit more? How does that even work?
Think of it like this: the 7 days of creation represent a complete cycle from beginning to a state of completion or rest.
Okay.
Ibn Arabi is suggesting that this same cycle happens continuously, but on a smaller scale within each day.
So creation isn't something that happened once upon a time, but it's an ongoing process, happening all around us, even within a single day.
Precisely. And not just around us, but within us as well. Each moment is a new beginning, a fresh opportunity for creation to unfold.
Whoa. That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
It really changes how you see time and reality. But there's one thing that's tripping me up. You said Ibn Arabi believed Saturday the 7th day was the day of eternity.
Yes.
But if every day has this mini cycle of creation, including a Saturday, wouldn't that create a paradox? Like, how can we be in the day of eternity if every day has its own eternity?
Great question. You've hit on one of the most challenging parts of Ibn Arabi's cosmology. He's saying that we are always in the day of eternity, even while we experience the other days inside that eternal framework.
Okay, I think I need an analogy to really grasp this.
Okay, how about this? Imagine a wheel with 7 spokes. Each spoke is a day of creation.
Got it.
Now, the wheel, the whole structure is the day of eternity.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
As the wheel turns, each spoke touches the ground right. That represents us experiencing that particular day. But the wheel itself, the day of eternity that stays constant.
Ah, okay. So we're experiencing all these different days, but we're always grounded in the day of eternity. It's like different levels of reality existing at the same time.
That's a great way to visualize it. And it explains how we experience all 7 days within Saturday, the day of eternity. It's all about perspective.
This is really stretching my concept of time. It's like saying we're living in multiple timelines at once.
It's a challenging but also really liberating idea. We're not bound by linear time in the way we usually think. There's a deeper eternal dimension to our existence that goes beyond our everyday perception.
This is blowing my mind. I can't wait to see where this goes next. So what's up next in our Ibn Arabi deep dive?
Well, next we're going to explore the oneness of being. It's the idea that ultimately only Allah, the divine source, truly exists. Everything else, including the world, is somewhere between existence and non-existence. It needs constant recreation to keep going.
So the world is dependent on the Creator for its very existence in every moment.
Exactly. It's a beautiful dance between the divine and creation. A constant interplay of manifestation and dissolution.
That's such a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, where do we fit into all of this? What's our role in this cosmic dance?
That's a great question, and one we'll be diving into as we explore this concept of the oneness of being. It challenges our ideas of individuality and separateness, suggesting we are way more interconnected with the divine and all of creation than we might realize.
I can't wait to hear more about that. It sounds like Ibn Arabi's ideas really push us to rethink our place in the universe and our relationship with everything around us.
He definitely does. That's what makes exploring his work so fascinating. It opens up new possibilities and helps us to see the world in a whole new light.
I'm so ready for more. Listeners, are you enjoying this journey as much as I am? Stick with us for part 3, where we'll explore the oneness of being and uncover the role of imagination in Ibn Arabi's cosmology. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're about to tackle this concept of oneness of being. It sounds super profound.
It really is. It makes you reconsider how we relate to the divine and the universe as a whole.
Okay, so break it down for us. What exactly does the oneness of being mean?
Imagine like a light bulb.
Got it.
The bulb itself is like the divine source, the only thing that truly exists.
Okay.
And the light coming from it. That's like the world, everything we see and experience.
So the world is like this emanation from the divine, but not as real or as permanent as the source itself.
You got it. It's like a reflection you see in a mirror. It's there, you can see it, but it depends on the object being reflected.
Right. Right.
In the same way, the world, according to Ibn Arabi, depends on the divine source to exist. It's always changing, constantly needing to be recreated to even continue.
That makes sense. So where do we fit into all of this? Are we part of the light or something completely different?
That's where things get really interesting. We as humans are part of that emanation, part of this constantly unfolding creation,
Okay.
but we have a very unique role to play.
Okay, on all ears.
Ibn Arabi believed that humans have this special capacity for imagination.
Yeah.
And he didn't see imagination as just daydreaming. It's a fundamental force in the universe.
So you're saying that imagination is more than just a mental thing. It actually shapes reality.
Exactly. Ibn Arabi even saw the letters of the Arabic alphabet as like their own world. Each letter is a form, a symbol with deeper meaning. And guess what he considered everything in the cosmos to be?
I'm not sure.
Tell me. A word of God, created through the breath of the All-Merciful.
Wow.
He saw the whole universe as this interconnected poem constantly being written and rewritten through divine imagination.
That's beautiful. Like creation is this act of storytelling.
Right. And because we have this capacity for imagination, we get to take part in creation.
So we're co-creating reality with the divine through our thoughts, our actions, our perceptions.
That's one way to see it. It shows how our understanding of time and creation are completely intertwined. So we've covered a lot of ground here. Discrete time, the single monad model, the oneness of being, and the power of imagination. It's amazing how these concepts all connect to give us this unique perspective on the universe.
It really is. It shows us that knowledge comes from so many different places. Exploring these diverse perspectives really enriches our understanding of the world.
Definitely.
What was the most fascinating part of this deep dive for you? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more mind-expanding journeys. We've only scratched the surface of Ibn Arabi's ideas, but I think it's time to leave you with a final thought-provoking question.
If we're constantly being recreated in each moment, like Ibn Arabi says, what does that mean for our understanding of free will and our actions?
That's a deep question, one that I think we could spend a lifetime pondering. It really adds another layer to our understanding of responsibility and our place in the universe.
It does. It shows the impact that exploring these concepts can have on how we see the world.
Absolutely. We encourage you to keep exploring the works of Ibn Arabi and share your insights with us. There's always more to learn. And who knows what other amazing connections we might find together.
We can't wait to hear your thoughts.